now recording, so you're going to have to accept recording. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. It's very annoying. It'd be good that if you could set that to like automatically accept for certain meetings. Anyway, you can't. Today, you will need a strap, a couple of bricks, cup of tea, because you know, cup of tea is always required first thing in the morning, just early in the morning. That's what you need. You might need a couple of cushions if you're on a hard surface. Oh, that's okay. I think we're ready to go. I think we're ready to go. Why not? So with your brick, first of all, good morning, everyone. I never say that because I sort of welcome people individually, and then I never actually say to everyone good morning. We're going to have a brick. You want to place the brick behind you, and you're going to have your legs out to either side, knees fall down, and the brick is there to support you. If you find this position really uncomfortable, you can have a second brick underneath your head. And the other thing to do is if you have a strap, what can be quite nice, place this way so you can see what I'm about to do. If you have a strap, you can feed it around the back of your body. Okay. And then I'm going to feed it underneath the front of my thigh. And then feed it over the top of my legs, and you put it through the belt. This is why I really hate using straps. And then you feed it through the belt and you feed it back on itself. And you tighten it all the way up like that. And then that holds your legs in place if you want to. So you can do that, and then you're going to lie back onto your bricks. The one that is coming downwards, that supports your spine. The other brick can support your head. If you want to get a little bit of openness into the front of your neck, now some people won't like this at all, so please be careful with your neck. You can also remove that brick from underneath your head. And I want your shoulders to fall away from your spine, either side of your brick. And we're going to start with 10 breaths here. I want to get a little bit of openness into the front of your chest. So making room in between each single rib. If you don't have a brick underneath your neck, then you can slowly, gently tilt your chin upwards towards the ceiling, and that will get a little bit of openness into the front of your neck as well. Please do be mindful of your neck. Some people have more movement in their neck than others. With each breath, try and relax a little bit more into your rib cage and into the front of the neck. From here, bring your arms all the way up overhead. Lay them flat onto your mat. Take 5 breaths here. You might find that this opens up your lower ribs just a little bit more. From here, bending your elbows and trying to grasp hold of the brick underneath your spine. And then bring your elbows down towards your mat. Releasing your hands and bring your hands back down to your hips. Taking a couple of deep breaths here. From here, pressing into your mat with your forearms, coming all the way back up to seated. Remove the brick from behind you and undo your strap if you are using a strap. Here, you're going to lie all the way back down onto your mat. Hands at either side of your hips. And you're going to gently curl and tuck your tailbone under and lift up with your hips coming off the mat, vertebrae by vertebrae, until you're balancing on your shoulders into a bridge position. Feel a little bit of openness happening across the front of your hip. Feeling your bum work. And then gently coming all the way back down again. On your next exhale, slowly coming vertebrae by vertebrae all the way up off the mat. Bring your hands together underneath your hips. Roll your shoulders underneath you, opening out the front of your rib cage. Get a good connection between your shoulders, your arms on the floor, creating that hip movement, lifting upwards. And maybe your heels and your big toes and your little toes are on the floor, grounding yourself. From here, gently bringing your spine all the way back down from the top of the spine all the way to the base of your spine, trying to get one vertebrae down at a time. And then arching your back slightly as you're on the mat, with your hips on the mat as well. And from here, flatten your back onto your mat, gently bringing your hips up vertebrae by vertebrae. It's a really small movement. And when you reach the top, interlace your fingers underneath you, roll your shoulders under, press your hands into your mat. Keep pressing your feet into the mat. Opening your chest up a little bit more. From here, you can come onto your tiptoes, allowing you to lift a little bit further up with your hips, getting a little bit more openness. Please be careful of your lower back here. If you do have lower back problems, it's really important to take care of your spine. And you need to come a little bit lower if you're feeling some pinching in your back. Gently lower your heels all the way back down onto your mat. And lower your body all the way back down again. We've got one more of these. If you want to, you can also bring one leg into the air when we're at the top, but only if you want to. From here, you're going to lift your hips nice and slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae. Interlace your fingers underneath you. Press your shoulders down into the mat. If you want to come onto your tiptoes, you can. And then you can bring one leg up and point the leg up towards the ceiling. If you've got one leg up towards the ceiling, bring that foot all the way back down again. And then try and bring the other leg up towards the ceiling. And then bringing that leg all the way back down again. From here, heels come down onto your mat. Gently bring your hips down onto the mat. Bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little bit of a rock and roll out. I'm doing a little bit of rolling with each knee independently, one then the other. Giving my back a little bit of love and TLC. Place your legs out straight on your mat. From here, you're going to place your forearms either side of your hips. Hands are facing downwards. And you're going to press into your hands and lift your chest up. From here, you can then place your hands underneath your hips. So I've got my hands at the base of my spine, underneath my bum. And again, we're going to try and open out the chest. So you're going to exhale, lift with your chest first up towards the ceiling. And then slowly send your head back towards the ground, as long as you are happy to do so. There's definitely a lot of concern when I do this because the front of my neck does tend to be a little bit tight. So if you're not happy to bring your head down onto the mat, you can put a brick or a block or a cushion underneath your head and rest your head on there. The idea here is that we are opening out the whole of the rib cage and the front of the body. When you're ready, tucking your chin in and then coming into a seated position. I have got us coming into a few forearm positions now, not forearm, hand positions. If you do have an injury, you can use the alternative that I just gave you instead of what we're about to do. So if you do have a wrist injury, you can use your forearms instead of your hands for this. From here, you're going to have your legs pointing forwards, hands underneath your shoulders. You're then going to do a nice big exhale, lift your hips up, point your toes, chin comes up towards the ceiling. Shoulders come away from your chest. Chest lifts above the shoulders. Chin points up towards the ceiling. Try and get good grounding through your fingers here. I can feel my thumb and index finger wanting to come off. And then exhale, bring your hips all the way back down again. Bring your feet in, and we're going to do a tabletop, a reverse tabletop now. So with this one, I would recommend for anyone who's got a hand injury, you come onto your forearms and lift your hips instead. If you are happy to do so, hands come underneath your shoulders. Feet are hip distance apart. And then you're going to exhale, lift your hips up, lift your chin up, press into your hands. Keep squeezing your bum as you do this. And then exhale, bring your hips all the way back down again. Crossing your legs. If you find this uncomfortable, pop a couple of bricks underneath you to lift you up. And that will also help you keep your spine straight. From here, you're going to inhale, lift your arms all the way up overhead. And then exhale, come into a twist, rotating to your right-hand side. On your next inhale, lifting your arms all the way up overhead. Exhaling, coming into a twist over to your left-hand side. Inhaling, lifting up. Exhaling, twisting. This time, place your left hand on your right knee and try and get your right hand onto your left hip, or if you can, the inside of your right thigh. Inhaling, lifting your arms all the way up overhead. Right hand now comes to your left thigh. Left hand sweeps all the way around the back of your body. Maybe you can get it onto your right hip, or maybe you can get it onto the inside of your right thigh. Quite nice little twist here. So from here, you're relaxing all the way back out, coming forwards again. So we're going to come into a tabletop position, but this time we're going to do a one-armed tabletop position. Feet are hip distance apart, hands come underneath your shoulders. You're going to lift your hips, and then we are going to start with the right arm reaching up overhead to get a full arch into the body. Inhaling, pressing through your hands, pressing through your feet, get into a stable position. Now from here, transfer your weight onto one arm and then lift and stretch out the whole of one side of your body and look over your left shoulder down towards the ground. From here, bring your hips back down, bring your arm back down again. Very nice, everyone. Right hand comes down, hips come all the way back up again. And then from here, you're lifting up. Left arm comes all the way up overhead. Keep squeezing through your bum. Now you're looking over your right shoulder. Exhaling. Bring all the way back down into a seated position. From here, legs come all the way out and forward. So let's make this quite a gentle fold this morning. So I know that a few people have got a few injuries today. Please don't push your limits. We're not here to damage the body. We're here to try and make it feel good about itself. Place your feet so that they are relaxed and pointing away. That will relax out any tension in your lower leg, which will also help with any tension in the upper leg. From here, you're going to inhale, lift your arms all the way up overhead. Exhale, nice fold forwards, tucking the head in. This is the first forward fold this morning. And I can always tell when I've been working more at a computer or sort of sitting in positions that don't quite feel that comfortable, because I get quite an intense, almost like a headache feel as I start stretching out all of the fascia between my forehead, down the back of my neck, down my spine, all the way through my tailbone and then into my hamstrings. I'm just going to be here for a few breaths. Inhaling, coming all the way back up to seated. From here, place your hands either side of your hips. We're almost doing a bit of a back to front session today, just so that you know. I'm doing a lot of seated work. We don't normally do much seated work, so I thought it'd be nice to put it in. You're going to lift one leg up and point your toe. Bring that leg all the way back down again. Now lift the other leg up and point the toe. We've got 5 breaths at the top here. This is trying to get the hip flexors to work. You should feel it in the top of the thigh. Anyone else legs shaking? I know. And breathe out all the way back down again. So from here, we're going to come into another fold. Feet are pointed away, no bend in the knee this time. Inhaling, lifting your arms all the way up overhead. Exhaling, coming forwards and folding towards your feet. Trying to get your body as close to your toes as you possibly can. And I normally have to do a few readjustments here. So my upper back loves doing the work here. I'm going to try and make my hips do a little bit more by straightening my back out a little bit and then pulling with my thighs in towards my hips and then nudging myself a little bit further forward. Anyone else feel it on their hamstrings this morning? Pretty intense. And exhale, coming all the way back out again. Hands come slightly behind you. You're going to lift your feet up off the mats. And we're going to hold here for 5 breaths. From here, bend your legs, come into a cross-leg position. I am going to roll over the top of my knees. I know that some people find this quite frightening. If you do, pop a couple of cushions underneath the front of your legs and see if you can just get a little bit further into that roll forwards. My ankles don't mind it, so I'm coming into a tabletop position forwards. Oh, a lot of people don't like rolling over the front of their legs. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Going to have to work. Okay, I'll remember that and we'll do a little bit of work on how to do it. Normally it's to do with ankle, bit of stiffness in front of the ankle. Okay, so from here, exhale, rounding out the whole of the spine, pushing into your lower back. We've done a lot of chest opening this morning, so let's do a little bit of back opening. We haven't done any of that so far. And then inhaling, coming back into a tabletop position. So we're moving between a rounded spine and almost like a half child's pose where you're bringing your hips all the way backwards, stretching through your spine. And then coming forwards, neutral spine. And as you exhale and come backwards, bring your shoulder blades apart. Try and get them as wide to either side as your mat. And if you are in a plank position today, and we will go into a few plank positions because I like them. Possibly the only person in this class who does like them. But if we do, you need to have that nice broadness into the shoulders to stabilize the shoulder. From here, untucking your toes, gently rolling over your ankles and lifting your hips up towards the ceiling. Coming into downward facing dog. Fingers are spread nice and wide. Every single finger is pressing down into your mat. Hips lifting up towards the ceiling. You're doing that lifting of the hips before trying to get your heels down. From here, coming onto your tiptoes, looking towards the front of the mat, stepping or jumping your feet towards the front of the mat, coming into a halfway lift. We are about to do a vinyasa. I am going to take a layer off because it's now a little bit warm. Okay, so we've got a nice long spine here. Trying to get that back flat if you can. Hips are drifting backwards. I don't know if you can see how far back my hips are going here. I'm trying to give you an idea of how far those hips can go back. And I'm really having to place my big toes down and my little toes down and really sucker them to the ground. And then you're going to exhale, fold all the way down. Head comes down towards the ground. And then gently creep yourself little by little, hands on your thighs, round through your spine, all the way back up to standing. This is the first time in, I don't know how long, gosh, 30 minutes. Already done 30 minutes. That took a long time. Sorry about that. To standing. So it's the first time in 30 minutes that we have been standing. We're going to go through a vinyasa. So inhaling, lifting your arms all the way up overhead. Hands come into a prayer pose. Open out the front of the rib cage. Exhale, hands come down the front of your body, hinging at your hips. Bring those hands all the way down towards your mat. Tuck your chin in, folding forwards. Inhale, lifting into a tall spine position. Exhale, hands come down onto your mat, stepping or jumping into a chaturanga. You can go through a high plank first. Knees come down onto your mat. Elbows draw all the way backwards. Chest comes down onto your mat. Untuck your toes. Inhale, lifting with your chest. From here, press into your hands. Come back with your hips over your ankles. Press into a child's pose. Child's pose is always a good option if you feel like you are getting tired. Untuck your toes. Press into your hands and bring your heels down towards the ground. Lift your hips up towards the ceiling. Shoulders come nice and broad of your spine. Now try and bring your shoulders down your back towards your hips. I don't do this very often. But we want to see if you can get that movement. Bring your shoulders all the way downwards. Then bring them up into your ears. I'm seeing quite a few people with injuries that are related to mobility of the shoulder. So this is part of this, which is bringing those shoulders down to the hips, up towards the ears.
That movement, see how much movement you've got available to you. From here, looking towards the front of your mat, bending your knees or jumping your feet forwards. Inhaling, halfway lift to spine. Exhaling, fold. Inhaling, gently sweeping your arms all the way up overhead, stepping back with your right foot. Big toe comes down into warrior, almost like warrior one, but you are on your big toes at the back. Drawing backwards with your right heel. I want to get a bit of a stretch into the front of your right hip. From here, you're going to cactus out your elbows, lift your chest up, bring your chin towards the ceiling. Inhaling, coming all the way forwards, bring your right knee up towards your chest. Inhaling, sweeping your arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale, arms come all the way back and behind you, and you're going to take your leg behind you and try and hold onto your foot. Oh, very good. Okay, so from here, you're going to kick into your foot. Chest comes forward slightly, and you're going to let that leg lift at the front. Lift at the front? No, lift at the back behind you. Try and open out your chin, look up. And exhale, let your leg relax all the way back out again. We're going to come on to the other side. So we're going to inhale, lift your arms up overhead, step back with your left foot. You're on the big toe and your feet are facing forwards. Draw backwards with the heel and bend into the front knee. Oh, the squirrel is back. Damien, the squirrel's back. We have a fight with the squirrel. Damien has a fight with the squirrel. He likes sticking up his plants. I'm not very happy about. So opening out your arms to the side, open out the rib cage. And we're trying to open out the front of the chest, the front of the left hip. From here, you're going to pivot onto the front foot. Bring the left knee all the way forwards. Arms come up overhead. And then exhale, bring your arms all the way back behind you. Bring your left foot behind you. Hold on to your left foot with both hands. And then if you're ready, you can then kick into your left foot and try and lift that leg up. Opening out your hips, opening up the front of your chest. Exhaling, bring your left knee all the way back down again, releasing your foot. Very nice. Okay, so we've got another standing sequence from here. You're going to bring your right foot all the way backwards, open the hips out to the side, arms come up to the sides, into warrior two, shoulders come away from your ears, arms come out, creating length in your arms. Feel like an albatross. What I imagine an albatross would look like. From here, left hand comes down onto your left thigh. Right arm comes up overhead, opening up the side of your body this time. Being strong through your hips. Making sure your knee at the front isn't falling in. From here, looking down towards your left foot, left hand comes down just in front of your left foot. We're going to now come into half moon, lifting up with your right foot off the ground. Try and lift through your trunk here. So I really am trying to lift up with my chest. My fingertips are really lightly on the ground, and I really am squeezing my right hip. Right hand comes down onto the mat. From here, we're going to do a single leg split or a standing split. Hands come down onto your mat. You're trying to lift with your right leg all the way up towards the ceiling. Bring that right leg back down onto your mat. Hands come underneath your shoulders. Taking your left foot back, we're in a high plank position. If you want to come into a full chaturanga, you can. Otherwise, you bring your knees down. Elbows draw all the way backwards into your rib cage. Rolling over your toes. Inhale into up dog. Shoulders away from your ears. Exhale, lifting your hips, pressing into a downward facing dog. Stepping forwards with your right foot, left foot turns in. Inhale, sweeping your arms all the way up overhead into warrior two. Tucking your tailbone under, lifting with the front of your hip. From here, bending your right elbow, left hand goes up overhead. We're opening out the side of the body, prepping for half moon. This is a bit of a duel. I'm trying to bring the outside of my left foot down, and I'm trying to bring my left hand as far up. It's almost like I want to touch the wall on the other side of the room. From here, right hand comes down onto your mat, just in front of your right foot. Trying to lift through the left foot and stand all the way up. Squeezing both bum cheeks to create stability. Feel for your balance here in your big toe. And you open out your hips a little bit more to the side. Left hand comes down onto your mat, hands are underneath your shoulders, lifting your leg up as high as it will go. Can you do a standing splits? Stepping back with your left foot, hands come underneath your shoulders. Step back with your right foot, going through a chaturanga, elbows draw all the way in towards your rib cage. Inhale into up dog. Exhale into downward facing dog or child's pose. We've got 5 breaths here. So enjoy that sensation of stretching out the whole of the body. We're not looking for perfection. Lifting with your hips. From here, looking towards the front of the mat, stepping or jumping forward, going into a seated position. We're going to put a few twists in today. So you're going to bring your right leg over the top of your left leg. You may need a strap. So with a strap, you're going to put the strap in between your legs, in between that little triangle that you've created. We're actually going to twist around like this. So make sure that the back of the strap is behind your tailbone, otherwise you won't get round. From here, right hand comes behind your right hip, left hand sweeps all the way up into the air, all the way up towards the ceiling. Now you're going to exhale, rotate and bring your left elbow into your right knee. You can then flip the hand down. Okay, and this is where you're going to try and get your hands in between your thigh, or in between your thighs, in that little triangle you created, where the strap is placed. Now you can either use your strap and feed your hands all the way along the strap and try and grasp your hands together, excuse me. Or you can just bring yourself into a position like this, where you've got one elbow on your knee and you are rotating. It really is your choice. This is your practice. Whichever one you choose, we've got 5 breaths here. And then relaxing all the way out with your hands. From here, we're going to bring your right leg all the way back behind you. Remove your strap and bend your left leg. We're now in the 90-90 position. So if anyone who has ever done mobility with me knows that I love this position. And then we're going to rotate towards the front knee and then fold forwards.
Looking to feel this in your hips.
On your next inhale, lifting all the way up. And then we're going to flip the legs over. So right leg comes forward, left leg flips over the top of your right leg. Okay. So from here, left hand comes behind your left thigh. If you want a strap, now is the time to place the strap through your legs. So remember, one side is behind your tailbone, the other side is forwards, so that you can then grasp it. Left hand is behind your left hip. Right hand sweeps all the way up overhead towards the ceiling. From here, you're going to put your elbow in your left knee and then flip the hand over. And from here, you can try and squeeze your hand in between that gap in your thighs. And maybe you can reach around to grab it. You can't grab that today. We've got 5 breaths there. And then exhale, coming all the way out of that. Left leg bends and comes out to the side. You can remove your strap. Right knee bends. You're coming into that 90-90 position. From here, my chest comes all the way forwards over my front leg. And we've got 5 breaths in this position. From here, inhaling, coming all the way back up to seated. Hands come in front of you. We're going to do a little bit of adjustment and we're going to come into pigeon. So from here, all you have to do to come into pigeon is actually square your hips and try and bring your front knee so it's fairly parallel with the front of your mat. It doesn't have to be parallel. Bring it to a position, mine certainly isn't, that feels like you're working into the outside of your hip. And you're going to try and lift up with the front of the chest. Today is all about opening up the front of the chest. Hands come into a prayer pose in front of you. And your legs are active and you're breathing. I caught so many people yesterday not breathing.
Absolutely fundamental. And then I caught myself holding my breath as well at a different point in time of the day. From here, don't unclasp your hands, bring your hands in front of you, and then you're going to try and lift that back leg all the way around the front of you and come forwards into a little bit of a cross-legged position. A few people going, no, that's from here, you're going to wrap your arm around the front of your thigh, come into a twist. Should be nice on the outside of your leg. From here, you're going to take your leg all the way out behind you. Hands come underneath your shoulders. Step back into a high plank position. Bring your left leg forwards in front of you into pigeon. Again, slowly work into this position. My left hip is a lot tighter than my right one. And slowly working into an upright position. I can't quite get upright. My hips just don't allow it. You can see that I've got a little bit of a bend in my back. It's fine because I don't feel this. I feel it in the front of my hip, actually, in the side of my hip. But if you are feeling it in your spine and your back, bring your hands down. From here, you're going to lift that back leg up, try and sweep it all the way forwards and cross it over. Oh, very nice, very nice. I think everyone managed it. It's very good. Okay, so your left hand sweeps around the front of that knee. You might need to do a little bit of adjustment to bring it a bit closer to yourself. Right hand comes behind your right hip and you're looking over your right shoulder. From here, slowly unraveling yourself and letting your legs come all the way forwards. Can you check on the time? Okay, so from here, we're going to have our hands behind us. Knees come in towards our chest. And then you're going to try and straighten your legs out and point those toes up towards the ceiling. And then come all the way down into a banana position. Forearms are on the mat. Try and squeeze your elbows together. Press into your hands, bring your knees into your chest. Exhale, straighten your legs as much as you can possibly make them. From here, bending your elbows, bring your legs out in front of you, using your core muscles here to really stabilize everything. This is core and hip flexors, just in case you weren't aware. Pressing into your forearms, bring your knees into your chest. Exhale, straightening your legs. And then bring your legs all the way down towards the mat. Two more of these. Inhale, bring your knees into your chest. And then from here, straighten your legs, trying to hold for a couple of breaths. Exhale, feet come down. Inhale, bend your knees into your chest. This is the rest position, so if you're finding it difficult now, bring your feet down. Try and point those toes up towards the ceiling. And then come all the way down. This is the last one. And then relax all the way down onto your mat. Bring your knees up, point them towards the ceiling, and then let the legs wash from side to side, right to left, relaxing out the whole of the spine. And also relaxing through the hip flexors. So that was quite intense on the hip flexors. And the hip flexors go from the front of the hip joint all the way into the spine. From here, bring your knees into your chest, wrapping your hands around your shins. Being nice and heavy with your body, feeling your spine press against your mat. Feeling your heartbeat. Taking some deep breaths. Bring your feet back onto the floor. We are going to work into Shavasana now. So if you are comfortable, then you can either lay your legs all the way down or bring your knees together, whichever position works for you. And if you want to get a covering, go for it. This is your time. Letting go of your breathing, being nice and heavy on your mat. Starting to notice your breathing. Taking a nice deep inhale, feeling your rib cage come out to the sides and fill with air. And then exhaling. Another nice deep inhale. Starting to stretch your fingers out. Starting to spread your toes. Creating air gaps between every single toe. Bringing one knee into your chest and then the other. And wrapping your arms around your knees. Either being still, maybe rocking if you want to. And when you're ready, rolling onto one side and pressing yourself back into a seated position. Bring your hands into a prayer pose, bowing your head down, saying namaste. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining me for yoga this morning. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will be back next week, same time. So have a lovely day. I hope you have a fantastic weekend too. Take care of yourselves.